It's not simply the institution of marriage, but I find institutions of monogamy and cultural ideas of what constitutes love as oppressive institutions. These are institutions that uphold certain kinds of structures, no surprise, patriarchy being one of them. And these are not structures that allow for deep negotiation. So there is a lot of idea that when gay men will get married, they will change marriage around. And I have constantly said that before you think you will change marriage, marriage will change you. That is the structure of the institution. In order to enter certain institutions, you must necessarily make yourself legible to them. So it is not simply that these institutions have a history of leaving people out and marginalizing people. So marginalizing by not giving equal access to what are institutions of privilege, like marriage. For example, Devdasis couldn't marry, and raped women still find it difficult to find partners. Single women have very difficult times living happy lives, etc., etc. So, and women are deeply are on the receiving end of much violence because of ideas of domesticity and companionship in marriage. So marital rape is still not recognized as violence in this country. But even this whole idea of that I must stick with this somebody because I love them, so I must tolerate their violence, or I must sacrifice for the good of this family, etc. I find all of these institutions of violence. But I recognize all institutionalization requires violence, right? And this is the double bind. How do you both negotiate with institutions and continue to undo their violence, even as violence may be central to how we think about various kinds of institutions? So let me give you a slightly more off answer to this question. I recognize gender to be deeply violent, but it does not stop me from organizing on grounds of gender. That is, that which is violent, that which is intrinsically violent, can also become the condition of new possibilities, of resistance, of reimaginations, bad word, of reimagining the world, right? And so, in some sense, my critique of marriage is that I do not find anything worth salvaging in the institution of marriage. There is a history of marriage where it has been oppressive. It is oppressive both within and by leaving people outside. But moreover, I recognize that violence as such cannot be something I can give up in toto. Alright?